these are the only mods I would recommend if you trying to get a huge power gain or increase your power on your Ram 1500. If you got a stock 5.7 Hemi Ram, this is the mods that you could do to help you increase your power if you want to get more power out of your truck. What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can be able to increase, what are some of the mods you could do to increase your horsepower on your 5.7 Hemi Ram. These are some of the things I myself going to be doing as well with my 2014 Ram 1500. So you guys need ideas, or you want to know what kind of modification that you can do to your truck, your stock Ram, this is what you want to do. But before we get into that, I want to say, do me a quick favor while you're on the channel right now. Click that subscribe button. Help support the channel and subscribe to the channel. One thing I gotta tell you guys, man, when it comes to modifying a 5.7 Hemi Ram, it's really like not, I wouldn't say it's any wrong answers, to be honest. It all comes down to how you really gonna be, what is your purpose with the truck, pretty much. What are you planning on doing? Such as racing or daily driving, both. That's something that you got to figure out. You know, some people want to get a little bit of power to just a daily drive. Some people want to get all the power they can to be able to race. And me, I'm kind of like, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm in between. I want to have a nice daily drive truck and also something that's fast. So where do you begin with you doing all of this stuff? The first thing I got to say, where you want to begin at is obviously you got to start from under the hood. So you have a stock 5.7 Hemi Ram, and sometimes some of these mods I'm going to name, miles sometimes doesn't really matter like that if you take on the right precaution that you need to. But what I would say to start off with, if you want to increase your power right away out the jump, first thing I would recommend is something that's always, I've been saying this for the longest, and something I'm gonna keep saying, you have to get rid of your stock 5.7 Hemi intake manifold. Now, don't get me wrong, some people like the stock 5.7 Hemi Ram intake manifold and thinks that it's better than a 6.4 truck intake manifold, but whoever think that, that's definitely cap, because what I could tell you, if you are on the side of trying to gain any kind of performance with your truck, that would be like the number one thing that you gotta get rid of, that's gonna help you increase your power, your Ram performance on your truck. So you want to get rid of the stock 5.7 Hemi intake manifold. That's the first step, I'll say, and go with the 6.4 truck intake manifold for your Ram. That's like the best way for you to help your truck to be able to get, it's not gonna be any kind of crazy amount of power, but it will be noticeable power that your truck gonna have. Trust me, it's definitely gonna be worth it. Now, the next thing I will recommend is, this is something, is like a big mod to do, but it definitely is something that helps overall with these trucks performance. You got to do like, I'll say like a long tube headers. Long tube headers is something that is very, very important when it comes to you trying to gain power or make any kind of power and stuff like that. Because you ever seen your stock exhaust manifold is not the best option if you are planning on adding power to your truck. So you're going to have to upgrade to a long tube headers. The reason why I said long tube headers, because long tube headers is better for the Ram 1500, also not just for sound purpose, but also for more so on the power side. Now, shorty headers, what I think about it, junk, to be honest. I wouldn't put that on my truck, just because the fact that it doesn't really change anything and you're not getting any kind of real performance from it. Some people, don't get me wrong, some people run them, this and that, because, you know, obviously they want to, or they got their reasons behind it. But I wouldn't recommend you doing any kind of shorty headers. If your goal is to increase your Ram performance or power, I wouldn't recommend that. Now, with those two things alone, what next can you do? obviously, exhaust. Exhaust play a huge part too. Exhaust is something that is very, very crucial too when it comes to the Ram 570 Hemi. These trucks run a whole lot better with an aftermarket free flow exhaust system. I wouldn't recommend, even if you got just, even in my personal opinion, just a muffler delete, not really gonna, I mean, it helps, but I would recommend you going with like a aftermarket exhaust system. Now, exhaust is expensive, but there are a few exhaust systems out there where I've seen you pay somewhere around like $500 to get a complete setup where it's completely worth it, to be honest. The exhaust is not something that's going to give you massive power, but it's going to help remove the restrictiveness on your truck, help your truck breathe a whole lot better. It's going to help with the long tube headers. It's going to help with, if let's say the next thing on the list I'm going to name, custom cam, that's going to help. Those three things, so long tube headers, custom cams, those two things go along with, can't get my words out, along with pretty much the exhaust system. So those two things, three things alone is very, very important to have. If you're gonna get headers, you're gonna have to get exhaust. You're gonna get exhaust and headers, you gotta get custom cam. Just my personal recommendation. I think that something that a lot of people take for granted and don't. Sometimes some people just do one or two things, but if you want like the best performance gains, I'll say to do like you got to do those three things. It's expensive, but it's going to be worth it. But now those are like the top couple things I named to you guys, but the next thing on my list will have to be custom tune. Custom tune is something I myself is looking into getting for my truck. Custom tune play a huge role in like how your vehicle going to perform. So you guys want to make sure you look into getting a custom tune. You got to talk to somebody who knows about the Ram, Mopar, and stuff like that. I would definitely recommend custom tune. You can get the transmission tune, you can get the engine tune. I would highly recommend you just don't go with like a flash or something like that. Just go with like a complete custom tune. That way it will be able to help you as you throw more mods onto your truck. So just those stuff alone I just named to you guys. If you really just want to, you could simply just do those stuff. Obviously there's more stuff you could do, like so far this is what I named. So I named, you can get a custom cam, headers, what else did I say? I think I said a 6.4 truck intake manifold, and then also I think I mentioned some aftermarket exhaust system. But those things alone like can really just like help you with, you know, nothing. I'm not saying you're gonna get like, you're gonna make like probably 500-600 to the wheels with those alone. You're gonna make some good power though. It's definitely gonna be like very much noticeable power. Like it's not gonna be something that you're not gonna notice. And these are mods that I'm telling you guys that like most Ram or most fast Rams and stuff who have like the I'm saying like that really modify their Rams and stuff, like all these stuff I name are stuff that they have also. Even me, some of these things that I'm naming to you guys, I'm gonna be doing I myself to my truck, but I'm not going a route where I'm trying to. I do want to race every now and then with this truck once I get it to where I want to get it, but I'm not trying to have it to use it to where it's like it's gonna be like I can't daily drive it. I want to, if I'm gonna make it fast, I'm not gonna make it fast to the point where it's gonna be like scary fast to where I can't be able to daily drive it. So I want to be able to daily drive it as often as I could and still be able to, you know, make a good amount of power and stuff like that whenever I want, stuff like that. Pretty much these are all the things. There's more stuff you could do. Like if you really want to go in depth, I would say you do heads and bigger size injectors. You could do you could even go as far as you trying to rebuild your 570 Hemi to where it could be able to handle a lot more power. Obviously that stuff gonna cost you a lot more money. But this is just like, for me personally, like, if I could choose like 5 things that I would say that I would do, I wouldn't say 5 things that I would say five guaranteed mods that you could do to these trucks that's gonna guarantee you, knowing that like you definitely gonna see a huge power increase. I'm saying, like, if you got a stock Ram, that, like, my 5 guarantee would be custom cam, 6.4 truck intake manifold, long tube headers, aftermarket exhaust system, and then if you really want to, I mean, it is recommended, will be aftermarket core intake. Nothing, anything, like, it doesn't really have to be like a real, I mean, I would say like a good brand core air intake, because you never want to, when you buying parts, don't try to cheap out and go with, you know, try to get parts that's really not, like, just because you want to save some money, try to go the cheap route with parts. I think that if whenever you're doing any kind of like real mods to your 5.7 Hemi engine, anything that includes the 5.7 Hemi engine, like your engine in your truck, you always got to keep this in mind, right? Like, it's better that you spend a lot of money on parts, like real high-end good parts, instead of you going to, like, I get it, you want to save, we all want to save at the end of the day, but like, save some money and get some cheap parts and then end up costing yourself way more money later on down the line. But that's just something to keep in mind if you plan on adding, you know, modification to your truck or whatever, your car or something like that with 5.7 Hemi. But with these trucks though, like, I would say that's like my top 5 right there. But it is way more in depth. Like all this stuff comes down to like how much money you're willing to spend to, because you could really put a good amount of money into a 5.7 Hemi engine and stuff like that to be able to, let's say if your goal to make power, you can do that, but it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you a little bit way more money than you think it will, but at the end, like, it's going to be worth it to me. Like, I think it's going to be 100% worth it. Like today, right, it's one of them things where right now I'm playing on, even though I said it plenty of times before about me pretty much trying to wait to, like, I wasn't really trying to fully put money into my 5.7 Hemi, but to think about it now, you know, I make content and stuff like that. I feel like, yes, it would make sense for me to, in some ways, because the fact that, you know, I make content on the stuff, and also this truck right now is a 150K on the dash, 151 right now. Not bad though. I wouldn't say it's not bad. Like, from my understanding, like these 5.7 Hemi, right, like the engine in these trucks can last to see a good 300,000 plus miles. Only if you were to fully take care of it, like I'm saying, like, if you really like up to date with your oil, doing your oil change, not going crazy over miles with oil change, doing your regular maintenance, even if you do decide to put the money into the block you have, let's say you got, like, well, I'm using me as an example. Like, my truck has a 151K right now. I could still be able to do so, and I'm not gonna, it's not like the truck is gonna have any kind of issue, as long as I go about doing it the right way, like, you know, going to somebody who actually understands, you know, like the right things I need to change up. If I'm planning on like throwing a cam at this truck, like throwing a cam on this truck, it shouldn't really be a problem. I know I was making it seem like a big deal, but I don't think it would be like a huge problem, because the truck right now, like, I keep up with the maintenance on this truck, and whoever was the previous owner also did too, and doing a camshaft, changing up some stuff on here, just so like it would be worth it, just not just for content purpose, but for the fact that, like, the power of this truck in the game is gonna be crazy. And you know, this 5.7 Hemi block right now has a long lifespan, I'll say. So I told myself, why not really try to keep it and not keep it, but like put the money into it now. Do what I gotta do. Say F it, make content on it. It is what it is. I do strongly believe from my understanding, with how I treat this truck, maintenance, everything, I think it should be fine. But if you plan on doing mods to these trucks, man, it definitely could be something that's very, very like enjoyable. I say, especially when you're doing like the right mods and stuff like that. Like, far as performance mods, then yeah, you're gonna enjoy the shit out of it. If you put the right money into it, it will cost you money, but it will be worth it. I've seen plenty of these trucks on Instagram, YouTube, and I'll be honest though, well, I wouldn't say YouTube, mainly Instagram, where guys will actually put money into it, and they still have like the 5.7 Hemi engine also, and they rip heavy. I'm telling you, like it rip, bro. Like that's like to me, like that's kind of like it's kind of good to see something like that. I ain't gonna lie, because Ram is like, Ram don't really have, like the Ram 1500s and stuff don't really have like a face to me. I'll say, when I mean like a face, I'm saying not too many people willing to build a Ram 1500, just a regular truck to some people. But I went off topic a little bit, but just something to put out there to you guys and stuff, because I'm really trying to, I'm really taking my content more serious than I was before, like a year ago. I had my channel for a long time, but yeah, definitely don't hesitate on doing so, man. It's definitely worth it. But that's just me giving you guys an honest opinion on, my own personal thoughts, I'll say, on if you want to modify your truck. My top 5, I wouldn't say top 5 mods that I'll recommend to you guys that can help you be able to achieve, increase your power on your ramp. But enough of me yapping on. Need you guys to keep following, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I need you guys to subscribe. Keep supporting the page. Definitely something that's gonna be worth it, guys. I'm telling you. It's going to be this truck going to be completely different from what it is now to later next year and stuff. So you guys want to, follow along with my journey on YouTube. Help support the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one.